Oh, people. This is what it is all about, right? This is what it's all about. Scrapper. Man, this is a fantastic film. This is a fantastic film. And it is the feature directorial debut from Charlotte Regan, who also wrote the joint. Okay. It is produced by Theo Barraclough, who she's worked really hard with to bring this to life. Um, Jennifer Monks co-produces. It's executive produced by Fahana Bula, Daniel Emerson, Michael Fassbender, Connor McCoffin, Jim Reeve, and Eva Yates. And it's associate produced by Kareem Adeshina. Music is from Patrick Johnson? Yeah, I think so. Molly Manning Walker was on cinematography. Matteo Binney and Billy Snedden edited the piece. Shaheen Bag was behind the great casting. Alina Montoni, production design. Art direction is Alina Montoni as well. Hannah Backshaw, set decoration. Costume design is Oliver Cronk. Hair and makeup, we've got Kieran Lavine, Nora Robertson, and Chris Leons is who we have to thank for the teeth. Good job with the teeth, man. You'll know what I'm talking about once you watch the film, for reals. So our cast. Well, we have got Georgie, played by Lola Campbell. Her best friend, Ali, is played by Aline Uzun. And then there is Jason, played by Harris Dickinson. Now, Ali, right? His little sister is played by Ayasa Uzun and Izil Uzin. His mum Nina is played by Aline Tizel. We've got Shian, played by Jessica Fosterkev. Zeph, right, played by Ambreen Razia. Emily, played by Carries Bouquet. Mr. Barraclough, played by Carrie Crankson. There's Kunk, played by Aokono Uzawani. Bami, played by Ayabama Uzibuya. And Lua, played by Aolua Uzienoa. We got Layla, played by Freya Bells. Yusuf, played by Ashik Akhtar. Josh is played by Joshua Frater-Loughlin. Vicky, played by Olivia Brady. A younger version of Jason is played by Daniel Burt. Kate is played by Laura Aikman. And Henry is played by Sam Buchan. Okay, so the gist of the film is this. Scrapper is a joyful comedy bubbling with hope. So it's said that it takes a village to raise a child, but 12-year-old Georgie has other ideas. Living alone since her beloved mum died, Georgie fills the flat they shared with her own special magic. But when her absent father, Jason, turns up out of the blue, she's forced to confront reality. A dreamy, witty, and unmissable tale of family and fresh starts. Scrapper is a film that believes life's not so much about chasing rainbows, but snatching fistfuls in both hands. So, yeah, man, this is it's just a wonderful little film. It really is, right? Oh man, my peoples at DDA hit me up about this, and I'm so glad they did. I am so glad they did. So the crazy thing is, right? A little bit from the press notes, people. Charlotte, she was 15 when she started making stuff, but back then it was just music promos. No thought of being a director, no thought until 2016, right? That's when she made her first short, right? Made her first short, which went and kicked ass over at TIFF. Which, like, not bad at all, you know what I mean? So the interesting thing though, when she decided to make Scrapper, right, it says that she knew that she wanted to make a different kind of film about working class Britain, one that reflected the truth of her childhood. She says, I wanted it to be joyful and funny. I've seen films about working class lives where the characters get 1 minute of happiness in the whole film, where no one is funny, everyone's miserable. But that wasn't my experience. Spending part of her childhood living with her gran in a North London tower block, Regan remembers it like a playground or a holiday camp. She says, hanging out with your mates on the same street every day is magic. Everyone looked out for each other. I wanted that working class community feeling. Grannies sitting on balconies, drinking cups of tea and watching the kids. All right. Now, there's a lot more here, but essentially, right? Essentially, we get that essence in this film. You really do. It is, oh man, people. Look, for a feature debut, this shows so much skill, right? Such a depth of touch to be able to tell this kind of story, because it's not this elaborate storyline. Like, even when you read, like, her dad turns up, right? It's still not this crazy kind of situation. It's all very low key, right? It's lo-fi, but it is told in a way that just really connects with the viewer. It really does. Like, and it's shot in these different kind of styles, right? You've got this fantasy element of the film. You've got this kind of documentary style that crops up, and crops up does not feel intrusive. There's not a point and you're like, oh, what, like, that's ruined the flow. No, it works perfectly. And there is this humor running through that doesn't feel forced one little bit, right? It's a conversation about werewolves and vampires, right? A conversation about werewolves and vampires. And you're just like, what? But you're chuckling because, yeah, that's what fucking 12-year-olds do, man. That's the stupid conversations that you'll have. All right, we see them just doing, they're doing little grimy things, right, to get by. But they don't have, they think, right? Because this is the thing. Georgie, she's been living alone, right? And we see her doing all of these things, and it, like, when you realize what's going on, you feel sad, man. You feel just, oh. But you're watching her navigate this, and she's doing it just very nonchalantly, just getting on with stuff. And so you're just thinking, damn, yo, kid's got it, she's working it out, right? This is kind of fire. She's working it out. I mean, probably needs to wash her top more, right? And you feel bad for her because she wears a West Ham top all the time, and you're just like, yo, someone needs to take this kid under their wing and introduce her to a better team. You know what I mean? A better team. But, like, she just lost a mum. So you'd be like, all right, I get it. But yeah, no, we see her doing these things. And like, there's points in the film when someone's like, maybe you should do this. Right. And you can see that. And you remember as a kid when people told you, to do things, and you're just like, oh, no, that's so. And then you realize, actually, that might be wise, or oh, that's a better way of doing it. And you're like, and begrudgingly, you'll do it, but you don't necessarily want to admit, right? You don't really want to admit. So you see all of this go down, and it, as I said, look, it's handled in such a deft way that you're like, yo, I'm loving this. I am loving this. Right? When Jason comes back, it's the way it happens. You're like, at first you're wondering, who the fuck is this? Right? What kind of odd things going on? But when you realize, oh no, this is, legit. And you just see these very awkward interactions, just the way they're trying to navigate this minefield. I mean, you're an emotional roller coaster here, right? Throughout, you're watching, and you're like, oh, what an arsehole, right? He left his kid, and you're feeling for Georgie. And then Jason does something, and you're like, oh man, I can see homie's trying. He's trying. Right. And so, yeah, you're these peaks and troughs, you're going, you're changing as you're watching this. But it's done at a believable pace. Everything is just right. Her friendship with Ali is just lovely. It is just this lovely, honest, pure little 12-year-old friendship that that's another great thing. Right? It's not trying to make this huge statement around, like, say, social media or all these other things. Now, there's things that get kind of pointed out, but in a fun way, right? Just the whole social services situation, right? The school situation. There's all of these things that are there, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, that kind of, Yeah, it's kind of crazy that how things like that can happen, right? But it's not like forced down your neck, right? As she said, she wanted to show this different side of working class Britain. And, Mike Lee films are great, right? Little dour, you know what I mean? They're not overly happy a lot of the times. Hey, not just picking on Mike, man. There's a lot of people that make these sad films, good films, really well done. But you're just like, oh, that's kind of sad. And but my childhood wasn't that. You know what I mean? So yeah, this film, it invokes that childhood joy, right? That childhood happiness, but it's framed around this horrible loss. And we're watching Georgie cope with it all, right? And I think it's like people talk about the stages of grief, you know what I mean? That, there's these specific things that you go through. And I mean, Ali, they're having a conversation, and Ali mentions it, and she's just like, I mean, I'm not sure. I think I'm here, but we'll see. And it's just like, yeah, it doesn't always fit in this nice little neat box. And you just see the way she's dealing with it, right? The things that impact her. There's this big thing that goes down at one point in the film, and like the actions make so much sense because you're just like, yeah, oh my gosh, you can just imagine how terrible that is, and it just works perfectly. Works perfectly. The train station scene. Well, I mean, there's a few train station scenes, people, but once you watch it, you'll know there's this just great fucking scene. Oh my god, it is so funny. So funny in an awkward way because it starts off like this kind of clunky conversation, and then it really goes somewhere, and then you get hit with this thing, and you're just like, oh my gosh. Like the dancing, just, man, if you do not walk out of this film smiling, I don't even know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you people. It's a great, lovely little film, you know? And here's the thing, right? Here is the crazy thing about this film, you know? Old little Lola Campbell, not a professional actor. You know what I mean? They wanted to get someone who wasn't an actor. And she does such a great job. Such a great job. I mean, everyone in the film is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like Jesus, Harris Dickinson, because Triangle of Sadness, he was so good in Triangle. And again, with that film, right, emotional role, you're with him at the beginning, and then you're just like, you're a bit of a shit. You're a bit of a shit. You know what I mean? But and we saw different sides of this person in that film, and in this film, completely, someone completely different. He does such a great job with Jason. Such a great job with Jason. You know, it's like Aline Uzun as Ali. Again, fantastic job. Just a fantastic job, right? We have a great cast, really giving us these fantastic performances that just imbue this film with this magic, this straight magic. And I'm not even talking about the magic we see, right? Because as I said, right, you've got these different kind of weird little genres thrown in. Because at points it's done like a documentary. And then you have these fantasy elements, right? Where it looks like she's lying on grass and she's looking up at the sky, but there's no sky, you know? But it's just like invoking the feelings that she might be having at that moment in time, right? Which is fantastic. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Charlotte Regan is someone we need to watch, right? She is one of these lights in UK filmmaking. Right, we've got people like Jessica Beckanu, um Benahunu, right? She did what Love is a Hand Grenade, right? We looked at it. I think it was the 2020 BFI Flair Festival. You know, there's Emily Al Fadi, who did From A to Q, right? You've got oh my gosh, what's Marley Morrison, Sweetheart, right? Fantastic film. Katie Fond. I think Katie Fond actually might be Australian, but My First Summer. Oh my gosh, so good. So there's this crop of these young filmmakers, right? Jonathan Wizicki with Dramarama. These young filmmakers who are just producing like this kind of intimate, you know what I mean, film that just is dealing with young people and life, and oh, it is so good. And Charlotte has stepped into that. She has stepped into that with aplomb, people, with aplomb. So I really cannot wait to see what she does next. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you know it is going to be tremendous. Now, here's the thing, right? So Scrapper is playing as part of Sundance London. Right, so it's dropping today, which yes, I know. Now, if you can, go grab yourself a ticket, go see that. But do not worry, right? If you cannot, it is having its full release on the 25th of August, right? 25th of August. I feel that's a bank holiday weekend. Yeah, I think that is the bank holiday weekend, people. So yeah, if you don't get to watch it as part of Sundance London, just gotta wait, you know, a month, right? And then it's out. And trust me, you do not want to miss this film. So yeah, there you go, people. Scrapper.